Patriots. I'm Lee Watts, and this is Patriot Point. Coming to you this week from the campaign trail. I'm here in beautiful Owensboro, Kentucky, talking to people about this run I have for the United States Congress, running against a guy with a liberal voting record who's been in office since the 1990s. Let's tell you where things are at right now. We've had some polling done and it's looking very good. We think right now we are at 50-50. It is going to be a tight race. I need everybody involved, all hands on deck. This is where we're sitting at right now, some of our goals. We have about 80% of our fundraising goals. If you ever wanted to give to get us across the finishing line, now is the time. Need to get those last minute ads on TV, radio, the newspaper, and every little bit helps. I remember when Governor Bevin won his primary, he won by 83 votes in a state of more than 4 million people. So every little bit can make all the difference. We also have our goal of walkers, and we're reaching about 65% of our walkers. Now, when I'm talking about walkers, I am not talking about old people walkers. I am not talking about zombie walkers. And I'm not talking about Luke Skywalkers. No, I'm talking about door walkers. Yes, these are people who go out, knock on doors. They got literature from the campaign that says, hey, here's about a true conservative. This is the website and where you can learn more. People with that one-on-one interaction makes all the difference. You'd like to donate something to the campaign or volunteer to help, then just visit our website, which is LeeWattsKentucky.com, and you'll see there ways that you can help financially or with your efforts. Let's talk about some of the Kentucky news going on right now. The legislature finished passing laws for the year, and then Governor Beshear vetoed a whole bunch of them, but now the legislature has come back in to consider overriding the vetoes. This is what they've overridden so far. First of all was Senate Bill 83. That is called the Save Women's Sports Act. It has this idea where if you're a man, you're not allowed to lie and say you're a woman and compete in women's sports. The governor vetoed that. He doesn't want them to have an equal playing field. Well, the legislature just overrode that veto, and now that is Kentucky law. Let's talk about another one. This was House Bill number 3. This was a great pro-life bill. It says that it will be illegal in Kentucky to use Kentucky taxpayer money to fund abortions. It also says that in Kentucky, it will become illegal to have these mail-in abortion-causing drugs. Well, of course, Andy Beshear vetoed that. He's very pro-abortion. Well, the legislature came back in this past week. They overrode that veto, and now that is the law here in the Commonwealth. Can't use taxpayer money for abortions, and you can no longer do those mail-in abortion drugs. It seems nearly every single thing that Andy Beshear vetoed is being overridden. And that leads us this week to the top 10 things which are useless and pointless. Let's start. Number 10 things that are useless and pointless are Andy Beshear's vetoes. Yes, this guy has an increasingly limited amount of power, and he's probably going to be run out of office by the people here in Kentucky next year. Can't wait for that election myself. Something else. Number 9 things which are pointless and useless. Basically everything on CNN or MSNBC. You can't trust any of it. Their ratings are just going through the gutter, and yeah, totally useless and pointless. Number 8 things that are pointless or useless is using logic, history, or evidence with one of these liberal woke people.
You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring. You mean like Democrats?
Here's the number 7 things which are completely useless and pointless. Now we're up to number 6 of things which are pointless, they're really useless. And that would be these things right here. Yeah, I can't mention the word because they'll ban the channel, but the picture of the thing right there, useless, pointless, no reason to it. Okay, now we're up to number 5, things which are useless or pointless. And that's these car jacks that come with your car. Get yourself a proper floor jack because those things are basically useless. They're no good at all. Get yourself a proper floor jack. Okay, number 4, things which are useless or pointless are the security cameras in Jeffrey Epstein's cell. Those were completely useless, pointless. You don't want to have that. Number 3, things which are useless are Gun-free zone signs. There has never been a criminal who intends to go in some place and use a weapon to shoot up a bunch of people that sees a sign that says you're not allowed to carry guns in here, and then the criminal would say, oh, well, I guess I can't shoot people because there's a sign. No, these things are completely useless. The only thing they stop is perfectly law-abiding citizens who were no threat to you anyway. Let's talk about the number 2 thing, which is completely pointless. The number 2 thing that is completely pointless is my opponent Brett Guthrie saying that he's actually a conservative. If you will Google right now this wonderful organization called Liberty Score, Google the words Liberty Score, and you can click on the state of Kentucky to see the actual rating on how do these congressmen in Kentucky actually vote on conservative issues. My opponent gets a 58%. Completely pointless for him to saying he's a conservative because the voting record proves otherwise. And then the number 1 thing, which is completely pointless, was completely useless, was Roman guards outside of the tomb of Jesus Christ. It's getting ready this weekend. Coming up, we're going to be celebrating Resurrection Sunday. And if you've ever read the book, it'll tell you those Roman guards, completely pointless and useless. As I always like to say, I'll put a twist on it, your salvation is not a spectator sport, something that is offered free to anyone who will accept it. Well, that's some of the things going on with the campaign right now. If you'd like to donate, get us across that finish line. If you want to get a sign, I've got signs set up in depots across the state. Just call one of these numbers if you're in the closest county to you to arrange to get a sign for your yard. Those are some of the things going on the state level, some of the vetoes that have been overridden. And don't forget, Election Day is May 17th. And until next week, I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point, reminding you that liberty is not a spectator sport.
You see them sometimes, walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring. You mean like Democrats?